Vijay, you can start.
Okay. My dear Toastmasters and distinguished guests, a very good evening to all of you. I, Toastmaster Vaijayanti Bose, welcome you to Speakers, Trainers, and Coaches Toastmasters Open House. I am your Sergeant at Arms for today. Like every great organization has a mission statement, Toastmasters International also has one. Our mission is to provide a conducive, supportive, and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-growth and personal growth too. We have some general guidelines to follow, such as ensure that you are logged in with your correct name. It will help us to identify you easily. All speakers, role takers are requested to add the name of their role before their name. All the guests are requested to prefix guest before their name. Know when your camera is on and avoid doing any activity that may distract the speaker. Please mute your microphone except when it's your turn to speak to avoid background noises from interrupting the meeting. Please also unmute your microphone and start your video when the Toastmaster of the day or the Table Topics Master asks you to do so. Let the host and co-host handle all the controls. I would also request you to refrain from speaking about religion, sex, and politics in a derogatory manner. Avoid interjecting the speaker when he or she is delivering a speech, evaluation, or report. Avoid conversations in chat publicly when someone is speaking, as it may distract the speaker. Please also raise your hand to volunteer during table topic session to speak. Look out for the green, yellow, and red colored cards on the screen. They will be displayed by the timer at the appropriate times. And finally, at the end of every segment, please cast your ballot when the host displays the polls on the screen. So today's meeting, which is in the form of an open house, is going to be a fascinating one because the theme is winning at the game of life. As all of us are here to enhance our communication and public speaking skills, we have a very senior Toastmaster and very powerful speaker with us today in what promises to be an engaging and enriching experience. She will share with us how we can win the game of life by mastering our communication skills, becoming a leader's leader, and being a part of a strong network. We also wanted to let you know that this meeting will be recorded, and we may use the recording for promotional purposes, such as sharing it on our social media channels, including WhatsApp. By joining the meeting, you agree to let us use your name, voice, and image in the recording. We want to assure you that your privacy is important to us, and we will only use the recording for the purposes mentioned. If you have any concerns or questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Lastly, we want to thank you for joining us today and being a part of our community. Your participation is greatly appreciated. Now let me invite the presiding officer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Kahira Miyajiwala. She is a life coach who believes in the importance of continuous learning in life. A dynamic young leader, she has been awarded the Toastmaster of the Day Award, Year Award, for 2023. She is a very caring, resilient, loyal person and loves helping us. A master's in HR. She has been the VPPR of this club last year and currently is the president of our club. So please put your hands together and help me welcome TM Kahira.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vaijayanti, for your lovely introduction. Welcome, dear members and all guests to our meeting. I would like to acknowledge that we have district directors in our presence. Toastmaster Mayuri DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri, Toastmaster Jyoti, Toastmaster Anand. If I'm missing out anyone, please accept my sincere apologies. We would love to introduce every single person in this meeting. However, because we have limited time, if everyone could put their introductions in the chat box, their name, where they're from, and how they came to know about our meeting, it would be amazing. And with that, I can also see new faces in our meeting like Ani, Chakri, Shivani, Sushma. Welcome to our meeting, and we hope you have an enjoyable experience as we had putting this together. Thank you all for joining us. Now, I know you all have come here to listen to the educator of the day. So I will quickly get into that, into introducing her. So please listen to her. Distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri Assudani is currently serving the District 126 as Public Relations Manager. He's been a Toastmaster since 2017 and has served in various leadership roles such as Area Director, Division N PR Manager, and District Chief Judge. At the club level, she has been a President, Vice President Education, Vice President Membership, and Sergeant at Arms. Mayuri is a member of Loyal Toastmasters Club. She joined Toastmasters to be a better leader and owes her growth to the many mentors she has learned from at Toastmasters. In her Toastmasters journey, she discovered her passion for public speaking, empowering others, and has contributed to numerous training programs at Toastmasters. She passionately shares her learnings with fellow Toastmasters, colleagues, and friends. Professionally, Mayuri works as a French language teacher and trainer and has overall 27 years of teaching experience. She has been taking online classes since a decade now and has been to France on several scholarships. She has trained several French language teachers across India. Mayuri loves to travel and collect souvenirs from everywhere she goes. Her favorite mantra is, if not now, then when? Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri.
Thank you so much, Presiding Officer Toastmaster Kaira. It is indeed a pleasure to be here. And just to take you back to what Kaira just mentioned, yes, I am a French language enthusiast. And that's where I would like to begin what I want to share today. Let me take you back to 2016. I was not a Toastmaster, but I've been teaching French for the longest time ever. So I was in one of these conferences that we have in India for teachers of French across the country. So we were some 250, 300 teachers in Bombay. The venue was St. Xavier's College. And we had an amazing time. The organizers had left no stone unturned in ensuring that we have the best of hospitality, catering. The trainers were excellent, par excellence, in fact. So it was a wonderful experience in short. Now, after 2 days came the last day when everybody comes forward and delivers a vote of thanks, right? I was just a member sitting in the audience, a participative member. And so it happened that the secretary, the president of the association came forward and started delivering their respective vote of thanks. To date, this was November 2016. To date, I do not know what happened to me that day. Sitting in that audience, I just raised my hand, just like that. And they were astounded, but I think I was myself more astounded. What am I doing? And then they said, yes, Mayuri. So I said, I want to also share a vote of thanks. Now, of course, I was asked to go up on the dais, on the stage, and I went up there. And then what happened? I shouldn't even be talking about it because it was utter, I won't say gibberish, but then it was just not structured. I was so overwhelmed and so enthusiastic and so happy to have lived a wonderful 2 days conference that it all just came out of my mouth flowing in no specific order. I just started thanking. First of all, I thanked the venue partners, then I thanked the volunteers, then I thanked the trainers, then I thanked the association. And I came back after that, breathless, and sat down on my seat. My friend sitting next to me said, what happened to you? I said, I don't know. And that's when I realized, I know I spoke from the heart, but that's when I realized that even after all these years of teaching, I was not a confident speaker and I was not a public speaker. Teaching was okay. I can face my students in classrooms anywhere. I've been training for more than half my life, but I was not. And I really wanted to do something about it. Voila, Google. And I came back home. I Googled a little bit and then lo and behold, I found there was a club in my small town too. That is the power of Toastmasters. You have a club. You only have to try to find one near you. I'm telling you, you'll find one. And so I think I joined the club after just one guest meeting, because during the guest meeting, I was sitting as a passive observer on those chairs. But everybody else was participating, delivering speeches, giving evaluations, talking, being on stage, while I was on a chair. And that's when I told myself, Mayuri, why are you waiting on this chair? You need to be up and out there on the stage. Only then will you improve. So while the meeting ended, I just asked the treasurer and the president, what is the procedure to become a member? I had no idea what Toastmasters is, believe me, but I became a member. And that has been the singular transformative journey that I have lived in the last 6.5, 7 years now. My life has taken a 360 degrees turn. Even when I was a newbie, hardly 6 months into Toastmasters, life took me to Canada. That was on a personal visit. I was in Vancouver. And again, it was sheer coincidence. We had the international convention happening that year in Canada. So I registered. And when I registered, of course, I wanted to save some money. Registrations were $525 US. But if you were a helping hand, if you volunteered, they would reduce it by $200. So I did. And you only had to put in 10 hours of voluntary work, which I did. Trust me, 10 hours of voluntary work. But I was at the registration desk. I met delegates, some 4,000 delegates from across the world coming to the registration counter to take their kit, register. I exchanged words with them. I said, hello, how are you? Where are you from? Lovely to see you. I was so thrilled at this experience. And that's when I came back to my country and I said, this is humongous. The amount of how much I can grow is just unfathomable. And that's when I became this passionate Toastmaster that you see on your screens today. So what is Toastmasters? Allow me to share my screen with you because I don't want to take up all of the screen space. So, well, what is Toastmasters? And of course, the tagline of Toastmasters is where leaders are made. It is not where public speakers are made or where communicators are made or orators are made. No, it's where leaders are made. But mind you, in order to be a good leader, you have to be a good communicator. Even if your team is only of 2 people or 3 or 300, you have to know how to communicate effectively with your team members. So that's Toastmasters. So what exactly is Toastmasters? One gentleman 100 years ago, almost, felt that people really do not have skills to exchange niceties and courtesies. They're not good at communication. They falter, they fumble. And so he thought of this idea of making a club. And it was called the Toastmasters Club. And this gentleman, to whom we owe our very existence as Toastmasters, is Ralph Smedley. And that was 1924 October. Can you imagine an organization that has stood the test of time for 100 years? Ask yourself, why is this organization still around? There must be something there. There must be some value that people are drawing from it. And that is why we continue to be Toastmasters and renew our membership year after year after year. When I was in Canada, I saw people on wheelchairs, white hair, could not walk, but there they were attending a conference because that's their experience that brings them to Toastmasters conventions. And so in Toastmasters spread over the world, we have some approximately 3 lakh members, and we have clubs like almost 15,000 clubs, and we are more than half the globe around in 144 countries. Primarily, we have 3 kinds of clubs: corporate, college, and community. Corporate clubs would be for, of course, the ones employees, college clubs for their students, and for community clubs, we welcome everybody beyond the age of 18, and there's absolutely no discrimination of any sorts at all. That's how we have these clubs. Now, if you look at the organization structure, maybe at the world level, we focus on the member because you are the most important person in this pyramid. Because you exist, so that's why it does exist a club, because members make a club. Like currently we are at this club, the STC club. Clubs form an area forms a division comes under a district, and a district comes under a region, and of course then there's the world headquarters. But if you did not exist, none of this would be there. And that's why we really give emphasis to you. We give emphasis to our members, their growth, because we believe that when you grow, so do I. In your growth lies mine. That's the entire crux of this matter. And just to let you know, you have leaders worldwide with nearly 300 of Fortune 500 companies. You'll find Toastmasters clubs in these companies. Now ask yourself, why do they have them? Because there's a reason, right? Even college clubs and business schools have Toastmasters clubs in them. Why? Because you want your managers to have those skills that we learn at Toastmasters. In fact, at number 3 in 2020, at number 3 was Toastmasters International in the world's 10 top volunteering organizations. It's a totally volunteering organization. Why do we do it? Why am I so passionate about Toastmasters? So I would love to share all of that with you, but let me just finish this in a nutshell. So the next question after the what is Toastmasters comes, how does this work? When does this happen? Where does this happen? And how do I join? I know these questions come up. So to explain to you very briefly, so there's nobody called a teacher. There's no professor. We have members who encourage one another, who encourage and encourage positively one another so that each one gets better with every meeting. A typical meeting is for 1.5 to 2 hours, and the frequency depends. You can have a meeting every week or at least once in 2 weeks. Nowadays, after the pandemic, especially now we have hybrid meetings, we have completely online meetings, we also have one-to-one in-person, we also have in-person meetings. And a typical Toastmasters meeting has 3 segments. Today, of course, you're going to see a different meeting, but a typical meeting has members where they deliver speeches. Now, where do these speeches come from? What do I talk about? Anything and everything that interests you is welcome as a speech at Toastmasters. We have projects. So when we have projects, that means we are online. There is a platform called Toastmasters. We all have our account. And that is where I have an objective that today, let's say I am at level 1, project 2. What do I have to do? I have to deliver a speech that involves vocal variety, highs and lows and sadness and excitement. So I'll think about a subject where I'll be able to use vocal variety, and that's what I will prepare for. And that's what I will deliver. And mind you, nobody has all the time in the world, nor do Toastmasters, and nor do our audience members. So we have speeches only for specific timelines. Whatever you want to say, please say that in 5 to 7 minutes, 10 minutes. We have guidelines already. And that's what I say. We all know what we want to talk about. What we really need to know is how to share that, how to talk about whatever we want to talk about. So the content is there. The structure is lacking. And that's what we learn in Toastmasters at every meeting. That small effort of 5 minutes that you will deliver today, tomorrow, 6 months later, I guarantee you'll see a remarkable improvement in your public speaking skills. We also have a segment called Table Topics. It's a very nice and very new word for impromptu speaking. No preparation, which we will see today as well. And the third part of our meeting, in a typical meeting, is evaluation. Now, evaluations are positive. Evaluations are encouraging. Evaluations are empathetic. Evaluations are empowering. And let me give you an example from my own life about evaluation. After I was a Toastmaster for almost 1.5 years, close to 2 years, in fact, so I understood how to deliver speeches, how to deliver evaluations. And that's when my mother underwent knee replacement. And you know how it is with knee replacement. These days, it doesn't take too much time. So her knees were replaced, and within the next 2 days, she was asked to start standing on her feet in the hospital itself. There was a physiotherapist who used to accompany and help her. And then she was relieved from the hospital and brought back home. But of course, physiotherapy was to continue. And we understood that my mother was well into her 70s then. So there was pain, and she started resisting physiotherapy. Now, if you resist physiotherapy, your recovery is not as smooth and as fast. And I remember myself, I used to tell her, Mama, you're not working. Mama, you're not exercising enough. Mom, this is going to take a month. Otherwise, Mom, well, it was always a very negative tone that I had. And my mom was not improving. She was not cooperative. And then one day I told myself, Mayuri, what are you doing? You have to use the positive technique, the encouragement, the empowering. And so I said, okay, the next time when I went to my mother's place, I said, Mom, let's stand and let's count to 100. And we went 1 to 100. Oh, excellent. Let's do it backwards now. Let's count from 10 to 1 backwards. Or let's take 10 steps, 20 steps. Come on, you've done it. 5 more steps. Oh, you've already reached the kitchen. Trust me, believe me when I say this, 1 week later, just 1 week later, my mother was in the kitchen making our food for us. That was the power I realized of the evaluation, the power of the words that we use. And this is exactly what I have learned at Toastmasters. Our families, our relationships, whether they are personal or professional, in the neighborhood, depends on these words that we use. And that's what I have learned at Toastmasters, to be careful and watch what we say. So that's something that we do learn at Toastmasters in the section called the evaluation section. Of course, coming to the leadership front, every club needs certain members to volunteer, come forward and take on responsibility. So we have a team of 7 club officers. You can see them.
Mayuri, can I just interrupt you for just a minute because the slides are not moving.
Oh dear, where are we?
You're still in the first slide.
Oh no, where did you not tell me earlier? Hold on. How do I share this then?
Yes, Mayuri, you need to do the control F5 or the slideshow.
I'll do that, but you should have told me earlier that I already see the red card come up. Oh dear, that's going to be terrible.
That's okay. But
I'm going to ask for more time now then in that case, okay?
Sure.
Can we see my slide now?
Yeah, we can now. It's moving. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay, I'll jump to the one that I'm currently at. This was a typical
Sure.
Toastmasters meeting. Yeah.
Sure. Carry on.
The evaluation was where I was. And so we have, now let's talk about the communication aspect is done. I also became a communicator. I started knowing how to speak, when to not speak, when to stop, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, done. But then I had no idea about leadership. I had no idea. And then I was gradually pulled into, this is club officers. So this is typically a set of 7 people who help run the club. Likewise, you have from club to area to division to district. I can take you to that slide very quickly, this one. So you have leadership opportunities at every level. Now to go forward, you will learn, and this is just 7 skills I have mentioned here. If you actually go to Toastmasters, they say there are 300 competencies and skills which you can hone at Toastmasters. Don't even ask me what they are. 300. This is just a small number that I've taken at random. There is so much that you can learn here. If you see, you can learn to conduct meetings, but it's not only at Toastmasters. You all are professionals working somewhere. Time management, tell me about it. Organizational skills, listening skills, because there's a difference between listening and hearing. When we become a Toastmaster, we listen. That is, we give complete attention to the person who's speaking. Look at the right-hand side, which says feedback. And why? Because I know this feedback is coming to me for my betterment, so that I improve as a speaker, as a communicator, as a leader. So all of this is something that you will learn at Toastmasters. Let me take you to one slide, which I absolutely love, the Toastmasters promise. There are 10 promises that we make when we become a Toastmaster. And of course, you don't have to live by them, but I do. To attend club meetings regularly. Why? Why should I attend club meetings regularly? Because it's only twice a month. And I'm sure I can manage to squeeze 2 meetings in a month. I will learn with every meeting because someone will be delivering a speech and I will listen attentively. When I listen attentively back home in my family or at work in my office, my skill of listening and giving attention would be much better than where it is currently. The second one, to prepare all of my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program. Projects. What it simply means is I take up a project and I will do that. I will see it to its completion. That is like owning that I will be there and I am accountable for this. Once I say I will do this work, I do that. And that's also the third one. Meeting assignments. A meeting needs 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 people. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Each one has a role to play. And so we will together form this puzzle and make the meeting a successful one. Number 4 says, provide fellow members with constructive, helpful evaluations. I just gave you an example of why We need to be helpful and constructive and empowering in our evaluations. At Toastmasters, you will never be judged. You will never be pulled down. You will always be pushed up to do better and better. And it is here that you can make as many mistakes as you want to, be it grammar, be it language. You'll stand in front of this audience and you'll forget. That's okay. We'll encourage you to still speak and complete your speech. Out in the real world, people might not really be as non-judgmental. So it helps me here to be a more confident version of who I am. The next one says, we all together maintain a positive environment in our club. Yes, because it depends on not just me alone, but the entire members, all of them together. We ensure that the environment is friendly. The next one, and I love this, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so. You see, because when I say that I will do it, I will be there, I'm owning and taking responsibility because the club needs me. And how does this happen? And what about its implications in our real life outside? There's a wedding in the family, and you know what Indian weddings are. There are hundreds of chores to do. You say, okay, I'll do this. You start, it becomes a part of you to say, I'll do it. And trust me, all of us have only 24 hours. If you set your heart to it, I'm sure each one of us can accommodate and do the maximum that you can, because we all as humans have the potential to do so. The next one says to treat my fellow club members with respect and courtesy. When we say respect, it is respect to the individual. And I say respect to every being that comes across in my life. You know, this respect through the series of meetings that I attended Toastmasters has become a part of my life now. So I'll continue to have this attitude of treating every being I meet with courtesy, with respect. And then the next one says to bring guests to club meetings because, well, I have benefited enormously from Toastmasters. And I would love to see as many people benefit as well. I am not saying that you also will stay for 60 years as some of us as Toastmasters. Maybe you would be here for 1 year, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years. But then that's where you will learn. So encourage members around you to come and grow as Toastmasters. And then if the time comes for you to maybe take a break, well, it's okay. Life will take you elsewhere as well. And then here we have to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters education and recognition programs, which means that there are rules in place, there are protocols in place that happens in life too. And we adhere to them. We don't flout them. But at the same time, we act, the last one is the most beautiful one. We act within the Toastmasters core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence, IRSE. So integrity, I mean, I know as English, we all speak English, so we've been hearing these words since a very long time. But understanding what it actually means. Now, ever since I moved into leadership, there have been so many instances where my brain says something, my heart says something, and then I just stop and say, it's against the very core value of integrity. It's incorrect, it's wrong, my conscience would never allow this. And so I simply say no. So that's how high the integrity comes in. And it becomes a part of you, not just at Toastmasters. Every skill and quality that you develop here is who you become eventually in life. Respect, I've already spoken. Service, yes, I say service because, like I said, it's totally voluntary. We don't get any remuneration for whatever we are doing. My mom always used to ask me, who goes to these Toastmasters meetings? I said, us, members. What do you do? I said, we deliver speeches. Well, who listens to them? So I said, well, the members themselves. And she said, and then what happens? I said, Mom, we all grow together as becoming better in becoming better and better speakers, because we don't get anything else apart from this passion that we have of empowering the ones around us. And the last one is excellence. It becomes a part of life. Never settle for anything short of excellence. And they say that it's a funny thing about life. When you learn to accept nothing but the very best, you very often get it. And so these are very core values of the promise. But I don't stop here. I'll take just 5 more minutes. The word promise for me has far more importance today than it ever had. If I talk of the word P, it stands for perseverance. Miracles don't happen overnight. You don't become a public speaker in 5 meetings. You don't go like it's like a gym. You go to a gym, you spend weeks and months to train and get the body that you wanted to. For public speaking too, it requires perseverance, it requires passion, it also requires patience. And that's what your P stands for, at least for me it does. When we come to the R, we've spoken about respect, of course, but R is also reaching out. Reach out to Toastmasters when you are in a doubt, when you need help. Reach out. Reach out also to non-Toastmasters to share with them what Toastmasters is all about, like what this club is doing today. The R stands for something which I have learned very early on in leadership. Respond, not react. Because my very core nature is one who's very impulsive. But I have learned now to respond and not react. So that's the R. If you come to O, that's the club officer, the officer that I said, come forward, take up roles, own the task that you set out to do. So that's take ownership. That's the O that I learned from. M is, of course, the entire crux. M stands for the meetings that we talk about at Toastmasters. M is also for mentoring. At Toastmasters, you are never alone. Never, never, never alone. The M has mentors. I have a mentor who started off with me in 2017. And of course, over the years, our mentor and mentee relationship has become more of a friendship. But even today, I know that if I make one call, it will be answered, I will be guided, and I will be encouraged on the right path. That's the strength of the bond that I have. And not just with one mentor, with my mentees as well. So that's the M, the meetings, the mentoring. And also with I, we've already spoken about the integrity. But apart from I, this I is I, the individual, me, for instance, Mayuri. I want to be a better version of myself, a confident version of myself. So the emphasis entirely is on I. I want to grow and I will help others grow along with me. Now coming to the S, of course, we spoke about service, but serve with humility. Serve as much as you can, for as long as you can, to as many people as you can. Because there's something that I read and I've been repeating it at many occasions. I shall pass through this life but once. Any service, any help that I can render to any human being, let me do it now, for I shall not pass this way again. Isn't it beautiful? And the last one is E, which is, of course, when I said E for the excellence that we want to bring in all our conduct, but E also for empowering, encouraging, empathizing, energizing everyone around us. That and also for the evaluations, of course. So that's the word promise for me. And it sort of sums up everything that I have learned at Toastmasters. And that has transformed me from a Mayuri to a Toastmaster Mayuri. And I say it with great pride that I'm a Toastmaster. Thank you for listening to me for so patiently for so long. I'll stop sharing now. And I would love to take questions. I've overstepped my time. I apologize, Kaira, but well.
I completely understand. Very valuable what you're saying. So go ahead.
No, but thank you so much. And I see a raise of hand. Is that for the timer or is it to ask a question, Mansi? I would welcome either way.
This one's for timer, Mayuri, and I've given you some extra time, so you're well in the time and the point is noted. I mean, all the education has been clear to me, so I'm good with that.
Thank you, thank you. So then I would love to hear from attendees in this meeting. If you have any questions at all whatsoever, I would be more than happy to share an answer. And I apologize for the faux pas in the beginning about the screen not being visible.
Don't worry about that. It happens.
Madam
DPRM, how long have you been a Toastmaster?
I've been a Toastmaster for 6.5 years.
What made you join Toastmasters?
Good question. Where is this coming from? 1 second. I need to have the person on camera. All right. Okay. So, well, I think in my introduction, Kaira mentioned that I speak French. So there was a time when I've been teaching French for like 25 years, 23, 25 years. And French the words used to come more automatically to my brain, even when talking to my family or friends. English had taken a second seat and I was ashamed. I said, I have to do something about it. I cannot, when I speak in English with my friends, I used to get stuck. And so with that intent, I went to Toastmasters. But what happened is just unbelievable. I'm back to English, of course, but I've grown as a leader as well. I hope I've answered your question. Yeah.
What's your favorite district leader role?
Sorry, the district leader?
Yeah, what is your favorite district leader role, and are you planning on joining the trio in the upcoming years?
Oh dear, actually, all the district leader roles are excellent. I've learned with each one of them. If you ask me, when I was an area director, I said, oh, that was amazing, working with the clubs closely. When I went on division, we were the first division. It was a new division, and I was the first division director. So many initiatives we have to our credit, so I take great pride in that. I served as a district chief judge, managing all contests for the entire district, 230 clubs. So I say that was hugely challenging. I learned organizational skills and keeping a close eye on contests. This year I'm serving as a PR manager, so being everywhere, the face of the district, a new district, a young one at that. And I will say I've grown with every role. And to answer the second part of your question, would I be coming forward as a trio member? I would, but that's not really my ultimate goal. Like I said, I'm here to serve, and serve I will, with post or without. Yeah, thank you for the question. Yes, I see Mansi and I see Jyoti both. Yes. Please go ahead.
I'll go ahead, Mansi here.
Yes.
Which role have you faced? I mean, which is the most challenging role so far in Toastmasters you have taken and you felt that that's the most challenging, and some of the challenges, if you can quote?
I think the challenge came when the pandemic hit us out of the blue. And why? Because we were not prepared for it. Otherwise, I really don't believe that, any challenge is too big if you have a team with you and if you have members who support you and you have all the tools, necessary tools. I don't think any challenge is really a challenge, really, very honestly. I have lived a certain life as well, so that's why I say so. But the pandemic came totally unaware. We were totally caught off guard. And I think, again, I will say thanks to the team that I had in place. And I was district chief judge that year. Overnight, I got a call from the district director saying, Mayuri, we have to go online, no more offline contests. It has to be Zoom. We need scripts. We need to understand how Zoom happens, how contests happen. I just took a deep breath. I said, we'll do it. And then what happened in the next 10 days, every night, the district officers would all come together on Zoom. We would experiment. We wrote scripts. We experimented back and forth. So that was challenging. But as Molière says, the greater the obstacle, the more glory in overcoming it. Today, I say that I'm a very proud District Chief Judge of the year 2019-2020. And all the scripts that you see today on Zoom in our district have been somewhere back, written, framed by me many years ago. Of course, edited now and modified now. Yes, Jyoti, I see your hand. Jyoti's left. Okay, someone else can probably take the question.
Can I go?
Yes, please do, please do.
Leader, how do you handle difficult situations in leadership? Or what will be your tip of advice to another leader how to handle difficult situations?
I'll tell you, Jyoti. Yeah. The most important thing that I have learned as a leader is to build your team. When I was an area director, I had a team. When I was a division director, I had a team. Even this year as a DPRM, I have a team. I'm never alone. But it is not easy to start off with a team who doesn't have the same vision, who doesn't have the same kind of ideas. So take time to build that relationship with your team. Share your vision, share your ideas. What is it that you wish to accomplish or do in this year as a leader? And I did that with my team. That's why I say I have always had immense support in any leadership role that I have been at. And this support comes because It takes time to reach out to those members, leaders, because each one of them also has a family, work, there are pressures, there are stresses. So I call out to people. That takes time to build a relationship. But then those relationships are for life. Even today, if I'm not a division director and I'm not a area director anymore, but the ones that I worked with, I have an extremely good bond with all of them. So work on building relationships and your team first of all. First thing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yes, please go on the next one. I see Sneha, Avijit, Umar.
I can go next.
Yes.
Evening, I'm Sneha. My question is more in terms of time management. So
Yeah.
all of us here, we all have a primary role either as corporate employees, business people, or homemakers in terms of supporting our family. So we all have challenges when it comes to Toastmasters, either as ECs or members. And if we have a challenge and if we have a required time at hand, then it becomes kind of manageable to equip ourselves and perform the task. The challenge is when we do not really have time at hand because we don't know what happens in case of a primary role and when it demands more time. So if you have taken up a role or if you are an EC member and then you realize that your primary role demands more time, it becomes very overwhelming. So how exactly are we supposed to manage our time and prioritize things in that case? Do you have any inputs there?
So when you talk of time management, of course, we're all, as I said earlier, Toastmasters is where leaders are made, right? All of us have been given the same number of 24 hours. We have families, professions, all of us. Now, when I say I've learned time management is because I'm a huge one with skills and Excel sheets and everything is data and analysis and tabled. So there are deadlines that I have in mind and I really follow up and ask that these deadlines be met. Having said that, it's true that we all come from families. Anything can happen at any time and you really run short of time. Now, remember when you make a team and you start working with people, ensure that there are backups too, or ensure that you have a buddy role or a shadow role. Ensure that when you need to leave because a certain situation has now come up, ensure that there is someone who will say, don't worry, I'll do it for you. And I have always, I lost my father the day our division became a division president distinguished district. And I got a call from the district director saying, Mayuri, don't worry, the entire district is with you. Your PPTs, just forget about it. We'll make them and share them. But I said, no, I will do it. I have this, but then this, like I come back to it. You have to make that bond with everyone to say, look, if ever anything you need my help, I'll be there for you. And likewise, if I need to go out, if something happens, you be there for me. In our club, for instance, in your club as well, I'm sure, the grammarian backs out at the last minute. Or the Toastmaster of the day says, I'm sorry, something has come up, I can't come. Make it a practice to say, it's all right. You need to go, we understand. But could you please help find a replacement before you go? Because finding a replacement will make that person own the task at hand. And you don't just go away and say, I'm not doing it. That's not a leader. So it happened in our club today. Our counter, I think it is, and the timer, both of them said that they're not going to be available. We still have 3 more days. So we said, okay, if you want to not be there, that's all right, but please find a replacement. Now, if they are hunting for a replacement, they will do it by tomorrow, but they're learning that you don't just go away. You find a replacement and then you go. So it's important to actually make arrangements for the unforeseen, for the unknown. And that's how you will learn leadership tips. All right, Avijit, can we have you? I think there was supposed to be a table topic section too, but I've taken away most of your time.
Yes, a very good evening to all of you, and very good evening to Toastmaster Mayuri. Thank you for sharing your inspirational story. And actually, I have joined for last 2 months, and I had no idea about the Toastmaster. Slowly, I'm just learning the things, and I'm excited that in one day, I will be in like that great Toastmaster like you. How come I'll start the process so that
You have already
surely I
started the
can.
process. You became a member, so that's the first step you've already taken. And don't say that you want to be like me. Say that you want to be a better version of your own self, Abhijit. You have the potential to be the best communicator leader. You only need to put in your time, efforts. I said, reach out when you don't know where to, but reach out one to one. I mean, of course, you can even reach out to me one to one as well, because each one of us over here is here to grow and learn. And I know that we don't know things, even I don't. That's why we have these mentors. I reach out to my mentors when I'm lost. So it's always a family, a fraternity of Toastmasters, which is you are never going to be alone. So the first step you've already taken. To do the next step is start preparing your speeches, start writing them, get them reviewed, rehearse, memorize, practice, deliver, all of that.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Umar, can we have your question also, please?
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Mayuri, for your keynote, and it's a wonderful insights. I wanted to ask that in Toastmasters tagline is where leaders are made.
Correct.
But when you are into the Toastmasters, from club officers to the district officer, you see a lot of politics. We say we don't know, we need to talk about politics, but people do a lot of politics.
True.
And lot of political gameplays like manipulations and all those things are happening. Some for the maybe powerful positions and all those things. So for them, the status matters a lot. So how we can avoid such kind of things, and how we can manage that politics to the minimum level, because we cannot make it zero. That
Yes,
is for
of
sure.
course.
We are human beings. We come from different cultures and all those backgrounds. So how we
So the
can
thing is,
minimize that, and how we can handle those things. Thank you.
at Toastmasters, never ever forget the reason why you joined Toastmasters. Why did you join Toastmasters in the first place? Was it for a position? Was it to become a good communicator? Was it to become a good leader? And if you are able to, and was it also to serve in the process of your growth? And if you're able to accomplish all of those, then these things should not matter to you at all. So, for instance, you are here to serve because you know that you will grow as a communicator, as a leader. That continues. So don't let these politics, if they happen, don't let them affect you. Never forget the reason why you joined Toastmasters. Keep that always as your primary vision, and in fact, the only vision. I'm here to serve, I'm here to grow, and there are opportunities galore. So let's take those opportunities whenever and wherever we get them. Let's spread the positivity around us with all the members. Now we are online as well, so it makes me much more happy. I wouldn't have come to Orissa otherwise, but I can online as well. So let's spread that. And I think that doesn't really affect me, because I'm very clear with why I joined Toastmasters, and that doesn't change anything at all. All right, I think that was the last question from no hands now. There was a thumbs up. Thank you, Jyoti. All right, so now I think I would like to thank everybody for listening to me and helping me share and relive my own beautiful memories. And there are many more episodes, of course. I would love to share any stories that you would further want, and you can reach out to me on a one-to-one level too. With that note, I hand back the virtual stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Kaira. Kaira, over to you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri, for spending your precious time with us. I know what changes you had to make in your schedule to, make it here on today at this time. So thank you so much. And
thank you so much.
On the behalf of speakers, trainers, and coaches Toastmasters, I would like to present you with the certificate. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks. It was a pleasure.
Also, if you can drop your email address to me so I can send it to you. And now it's time for our next section, which is the table topic segment of the meeting, which is the impromptu segment of the meeting. And it's a lot of fun. I'm sure a lot of you might have nerves and be nervous about it, but it's a lot of fun once you get into it. So let me now introduce our Toastmaster Table Topics Master of the day, Toastmaster Naren. So he is a brilliant person. He's a life coach. He loves impacting people's life. He's all about service. Every time I've asked him to step up and take up a role, he's always said yes. And he's a brilliant human being. Over to you, Table Topics Master, Toastmaster Naren.
Greetings, Madam Toastmaster, fellow guests, Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. Thank you for the lovely introduction, Toastmaster Kahira. The purpose of the topics, table topics, and the topics master, basically, I will facilitate table topics where guests and members will have the opportunity to practice their impromptu speaking. In this current age where we are in the 2020 era, where people don't have patience, they want the response promptly, and then we don't have enough time to organize or prepare our speeches and be very extempore at that moment. So this is very, very interesting, and I will introduce a topic, and you can volunteer. If no one raises hand, I have liberty to pick you from this group. Okay, so be ready. Rather you volunteer, you'll be safe. Okay, you will get 2 minutes to speak. Okay, and at 1.5 minutes, you will get green, at 2 amber, and at 2.5 it will be red. So
Can I make a correction to that, Toastmaster Naren?
yeah,
So it's at 1 you'll get the green card. At
1.5. Okay.
1.5
Okay.
yellow. Go ahead, Toastmaster Naren.
Okay. So the timing, you have to be very careful because there is a timer who will time you while you speak. Okay, and then if you exceed, you'll be disqualified. I don't want anybody over here to disqualify. Okay, so enjoy this section, and yeah. So are we all set? Timer, you are ready? Are you ready, timer?
A minute, I am facing issues with my background. So give me a minute. I'll just share the screen and share an alternative time sheet, time card.
Speakers ready? Yeah. Okay.
So I am ready, Toastmaster Naren. I am ready. So I'll be the one who's going to time, which is very important in our life, which is again time. So let's take care of that. For table topic section, 1 to 2 minutes. I'm just giving one demo how it's going to be. If my screen is visible, at first minute, you'll see the green light in the background where right now you see the gray. Then you'll see yellow light at the end of 1 minute 30 seconds. Then red light at the end of 2 minutes. Post 2 minutes 30 seconds, you will be disqualified. Please take a note and keep a watch on the screen. Go ahead, Toastmaster Naren.
Well, thank you so much, Toastmaster Mansi. Okay, if we are ready, I'll invite the first speaker to speak here. So yeah, I can see Manoj raised his hand. Manoj, you're a Toastmaster, Manoj?
Yes.
Okay, so Toastmaster Manoj, welcome. Now I have a topic for you. How has the world of Toastmasters impacted your personal life? Toastmaster Manoj. Toastmaster Manoj, how has the world of Toastmasters impacted your personal life?
Master Manoj, just let me know once you're ready. Give me a heads up.
Toastmaster Mansi, you can start it immediately.
So your time starts now, Toastmaster Manoj.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. And once I get this topic, I go back 7 years, 2017, month of May, in the city of Dehradun. There was a lit fest that was going on in one of the centers. And I went over there for 2 days. And there was a small little cabin, and 2 people are standing over there with a banner that said Toastmasters. For me, toasting refers to something when you toast drinks to somebody. So I, along with my spouse, walked over there to find out what this Toastmaster is about. And they told me they're organizing a competition, a speech competition. I did join with my daughter, and after about a month, I became a Toastmaster. And for last 7 years, I've jumped from city to city, from Dehradun to Kota, from Kota to Chennai, from Chennai to Pachmari. So in all these cities, I've continued to be a part of Toastmasters, now from offline meetings to online meetings. And it has been a part of me. Like I feel as if I'm not lived my life if I don't join a meeting. So every week, I look forward to joining the club meeting. And when I'm off, like now I am on vacations, I search for other clubs where I can be a part of that to improve my communication. So it is quite fulfilling, a kind of contentness that I get because I get to meet new people. I get to talk and share my views. And as the tagline said, I improve my leadership as well as personality. So it is at the end of the day, becoming a Toastmaster is giving me some sort of fulfillment, a kind of personality that I'm building up, and I'm always confident of speaking. Like I became the first volunteer to take on because it's Toastmasters that's taught me to volunteer and go ahead and pick it up. And so whatever I've achieved in last 7 years. Thank you. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manoj. You have said your story and how Toastmasters have become a part of your life, how you're enjoying this journey and becoming better with each meeting, each session. We loved it. Thank you so much for bringing it up. Now, I invite Toastmaster Sneha. Toastmaster Sneha.
Yes, Toastmaster Naren.
Yeah, so you volunteer. You're ready?
Ready.
Great. So your topic is, will my personal life change if I take up? No, I'm sorry. What do you think you wouldn't have if you hadn't joined Toastmasters? Toastmaster Sneha, what do you think you wouldn't have if you hadn't joined Toastmasters? Toastmaster Sneha.
Master Sneha, your time starts now.
All right. So I'm an HR professional, and giving presentations is fundamental in my role in the office or in my professional life. And whenever I had to give a presentation, I would always get palpitations. I would have a racing heartbeat. But one, because it's not that I had a fear as such, but for some reason, when I had to speak in front of a crowd, I would get nervous, and the voice modulation would go for a toss. So my main goal was to ensure that I'm able to speak in front of a crowd in a very poised manner or very calmly. So that is the reason why I had joined Toastmasters, to ensure that I could speak calmly. And ever since I joined Toastmasters and I started taking roles, it has become easier for me to take up roles in the office whenever or any kind of roles in office. I also had problems with time management, which has drastically reduced after coming to Toastmasters. But majorly with regards to presentation, now I can ensure that, or now I can see that I am very calm and very poised whenever I have to give a presentation in the office. So I can say that Toastmasters has helped me a lot in terms of that. Also organizing my thoughts. So we all have a lot of things going on in our minds. However, as Toastmaster Mayuri said, if we do not speak in a structured way, then obviously you tend to lose credibility because the recipient is not able to interpret it in the right way. Your message is not conveyed in the right way. And hence Toastmasters really helped me to ensure that I can give presentations in a way where I am able to convey my messages to the recipients. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sneha. Very well said. Like we join Toastmaster with a purpose, and in return we get many. And it is helping you in your professional life in making presentations and communicating more effectively what more we need. Thank you so much for a wonderful sharing. Next, we have Saurav Sethi.
Hello.
Yes, you're ready?
Yes.
You're a Toastmaster, Saurav?
Yes, I am.
Very good. Very good. Now, your topic is, what does STC Toastmasters Club mean to you? Toastmaster Saurav, what does STC Toastmasters Club mean to you?
Just want to ask, what does STC mean?
STC is Speakers, Trainers, and Coaches Toastmasters Club, and this is the club which you are attending. So I'll repeat again. What does STC Toastmasters Club mean to you, Toastmaster Saurav?
Master Saurabh, your time starts now.
Okay. Okay. Toastmasters is an international club. It's a platform which provides an opportunity to communicate ideas freely, evaluate others' speech, and provide suggestions on how to improve. In STC, which stands for Speaker, Trainer, and Coach, there are some named speakers when they first time join the club who fear like to share ideas. They get mentored by some distinguished persons. After getting mentored and training, they get an opportunity to give speech to project or participate in table topics impromptu. After a lot of practice, they feel confidence in their speech and they can be able to interact with anyone, be it with unknown person, sharing office presentations, etc. Yes, means after joining this platform, you feel confident and you're able to express ideas more frequently. There you get an opportunity to network with like-minded people and experienced people. They encourage you to improve further and they give you a second chance to practice and deliver the speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurav Sethi. Very good. Well, very well said. Toastmasters is a platform for us to practice and become better. And this is what you have been getting benefited. Now I invite Susma. Susma, you're there? Susma.
Sushma, would you like to give it a chance? Sushma?
Actually, today is my first time. I've just come to see, so I really don't know what to say.
So it was all our first time at one point of time. And I think this is the best time to try it out. It's a very supportive place and it's a safe space.
I'll just give it a try.
So all the best.
Thank you.
If you feel like you need some time, please let me know before starting. I'm the timer today. So just...
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Over to you.
Okay. Okay. So, Susma, your topic is, what will you take away from today's session? What will you take away from today's session, Susma?
Okay, thank you. Yes. I came to know about Toastmasters through a cousin of mine, Aditya, and Aditya Dugar, and he told me about it. And I was very interested because I am in the education profession and I would like to be able to deliver what I want to the children very well. And I saw here that everybody is talking about how we talk, how we present ourselves. So I think that is the key takeaway, that I can improve the way I talk in a structured manner and able to deliver what I want to actually, the point which I want to deliver to my students. So that is the main key takeaway that I have today. Thank you so much.
Sushma, that was a really good try for your first time. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, yes, Shuspa, really great, so sporty. And yes, this is what we take the first step. And the most difficult step is the first step. After that, it is just building on that. So congratulations for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, we have Noor. Noor, you're there?
Yes, Naren.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So, Noor, your topic is, will my personal life change if I take up a role in our Toastmasters meetings? Will my personal life change if I take up a role in our Toastmasters meeting? Noor Mohammed.
Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. Good evening to you all. Let me tell you a story. Long time ago, when I was in the stone age of my life, 2013, that means, someone bulldozed me with so many calls and messages that there is some place called Toastmasters. You have to come there. You have to. I was not at all interested in this, right? I was doing well in my personal life. I was doing well in my business. I had no need for communicating further. I was doing well with my communication with my clients. I go sit with my clients. I talk very beautifully. I close deals. I was wonderful. So I thought this is nonsense. So I ignored those calls for almost 6 months. Then one fine day, June 13th, someone came to my home, literally pulled me and took me to a Toastmasters meeting. I sat there for 2 hours. My life changed after that. I realized immediately the potential what is there in the Toastmasters meeting, right? It was as if, you know, I realized that I could come out of my shell. I didn't realize I was living in a shell. When I attended the meeting, I realized that there was so much camaraderie, there was so much fun, there was learning, and most importantly, there was food, right? I love the food aspect of Toastmasters meetings. I really miss the physical Toastmasters meetings because there is good food. I'm a foodie. I love food, right? Apart from all that, what you learn is, I'm now almost 11, 12 years Toastmaster. What I learned is this, that when you go into Toastmasters, you immediately learn that you can speak, right? No one listened to you earlier. Now, when you're talking, so many people are listening to you and you get heard, right? And that somehow internally, it boosts your, you know, your confidence. Now, confidence is a state of mind, right? When you're surrounded by people who are positive, you suddenly feel that your life has a different meaning, a different, you look at life through a different perspective, right? So timer, you can switch off that thing. It's quite distracting actually. Yeah, thank you. So I would take a minute more just to explain, because this is very important, which I have realized in Toastmasters. Not only that, you grow immensely once you take up a role. For example, you take a VP education, your life changes dramatically. You get ditched at every moment, right? You sign up for roles and people say, I'm sorry, I cannot come for this role. Then you learn skills how to manage, right? Things which we don't learn in ordinary our daily lives, we learn through Toastmasters, right? And let me tell you the pitfalls of Toastmasters also. I am not all positive about Toastmasters. I'll tell you one thing about Toastmasters. It takes away a lot of your time, right? So you have to be mindful when you're in Toastmasters because it's addictive, because it boosts your self-esteem. And you don't want to stop something which boosts your self-esteem. So you have to strike a balance between how much you want to invest in Toastmasters, your time, and then go accordingly. So to summarize, Toastmasters is a wonderful platform where you can network with people all around the world. You get to learn, you make great friends, you have fun, you learn stuff, and then you have great food as well. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Noor. It's a wonderful. 1 second, my little one is here. Okay. Yeah, Toastmaster Noor, that was a good session. Basically, this is an education session which you have just gave it to us. Thank you for that. Now, I think time is running and I'm not sure if I can take one more. I need permission if I can take one more.
Toastmaster Naren, maybe we can ask the audience if they're okay staying back for 10 minutes more. Because if we take one more person, we would need to be here at least a total of 10 minutes. So is the audience okay with that?
Well, in that case, I think we'll continue in the next meeting. Okay.
Or maybe you can take like a raise of hands or a thumbs up sign, so if everyone can see, if everyone votes for the thumbs up, then we'll go ahead with one last person. If
can we just look for just one thing. Can we just look for volunteer? Is there any other volunteer? If yes, then we can take one more topic. That's it.
So, I think Abhijit has been raising his hand for the whole meeting, for the whole table topic segment. Okay, so we'll have one last person. Abhijit, you're the last. Toastmaster Naren, sorry for taking up your time.
Toastmaster Naren, please go ahead with your topic.
Yeah, so Abhijit, you're a Toastmaster, Abhijit?
Yes, I'm
okay, great. Okay, so Toastmaster Abhijit, your topic is what is your, of course. So share the funniest moment in any Toastmasters meeting. Please share your funniest moment in any Toastmasters meeting. Toastmaster Abhijit.
Yeah.
Toastmaster Abhijit, your time starts now.
Yes. Hello. Good evening to all the Toastmasters. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I came to the member of the Toastmasters from last 2 months, and it is quite. I'm enjoying the sessions, all sessions, and trying to attend the each sessions. And our new president, Toastmaster Jyoti, she has inspired me to to attend each and each sessions. Yeah, I'm just remembering one fun sessions. Of course, every session used to be fun, but I've suddenly that one session has kept my mind stuck up with that. Regarding Toastmaster Jyoti. We had one sessions with our past president, TM Abhinas. Like we are just, I mean, there was some topic like some advertisement and all. As Toastmaster Jyoti is a this one. She's a member of this. I think this insurance, something like that. So we had some fun session like that. when she will go to somewhere like used to ask that whether you need some sweets, something like that. I'm just able to recall something. Maybe I'm not able to recall exactly what the incident was. Thank you.
So that's one. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhijit. That is really fun because when we are here to learn more, beside that, we also expect some fun moments which actually last longer, right? And that's what we come again to the session and enjoy this. This is much more than the learning. We have fun here. Great. Great. With that, I think I'm done with my table topics section, and I hand over it to the MC. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naren. Toastmaster Neha, thank you so much for being an awesome Zoom master and being on your toes and switching, the spotlight. And I hope everyone in our meeting enjoyed our meeting. All role players did amazingly. I know there were moments of where there was a lot of nervousness that crept up, but that happens to every single one of us here. So don't worry about it. You all put your best foot forward and did a great job. So congratulations for that. And congratulations for stepping up and agreeing to take these roles. It was a big challenge to take up these roles because there's a lot of preparation required for each and every role. So thank you so much for stepping up and taking up this and giving yourself an opportunity to learn also, along with, helping us just, make the meeting function in the best way. We would like feedback from two of our guests, any two. So since Dipesh, you've been very quiet, I would like to hear your feedback.
Well, no feedback as in particular, but I really love this session. Very informative, a lot of things to learn. And to be frank, if this question was asked to me, like, what do I learn from Toastmasters as the power of gratitude. Like, everybody is so supportive out here. It's a cordial environment. And the best thing about it is that we have constructive criticism. We don't have criticism, we have constructive criticism. So it's just a cordial environment. So I just enjoy joining Toastmasters. I've been quiet because I've been a keen listener today. I've been jotted out points. So it was amazing. Thank you for sending me the invite.
Awesome, and we hope to see you every week as well, Dipesh. Nabanita, we would like to hear your feedback. Sorry if I'm messing up.
That is okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, my mentors and my team. I'm really happy that I joined Toastmasters this week. I have been doing 2 or more sessions. And from this session, actually, I learned a lot from the Toastmasters, like structured way of saying things and taking your time, taking yourself time, and giving you an opportunity. We actually have learned a lot about Toastmasters. I have been a very fresher, a newbie, so I don't really know much about it, but I have learned a lot that how structured saying and how you can calm down yourself and be more confident while talking. And the best thing is my mentor, I have Miss Mayuri. So I got to see her and I could listen from her. And I'm really glad that I did join this session. And thanks to TM Jyoti, our president of our club. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Nabanita, and we hope to see you also every week as well. I know I said only 2 people, but I can see a lot of people. I want to ask a few more people, so please bear with me. Sushma, since it was your first time here and the first time giving your table topic, I want to hear your experience. You're on mute.
Actually, it came as such a big surprise. I never knew that I would be called up to speak. But yeah, it was very nice, and all thanks to Aditya that I'm here. And I was very curious about Toastmasters. I've heard of it, but I really didn't know what this forum was about. And actually, it's interesting me a lot, so maybe I will join it.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Sunita, we would like to hear from you, and then I would like to hear from Chakri, and that I promise you will be the last person giving feedback. Sunita, okay, so I think she left the meeting. Chakri, we would love to hear from you, your feedback. Chakri.
Hello. Hello, everyone. And
Hello.
this is my first session, first Toastmaster session. And I loved the session, and I would like to go forward with the sessions. I realized that I am in a shell. I'm feeling that now Toastmasters will break my shell and develop my confidence. And thank you.
It definitely will, Chakri, because when I started off, I couldn't open my mouth on this without completely losing it and getting stressed. I would go completely blank. And now I'm president of the club. So I have to speak every week compulsorily. So I got the practice that I needed to open up, and my confidence has shot like crazy amounts. So the same thing will happen to you as well. And we love having each and every one of you here. And now I would like to pass it back, the podium back to Toastmaster Vijay, who's our Sergeant at Arms. Please do stay back because we want to capture the moment and take a picture with everyone.
So I'm sure this meeting has fulfilled all the promise that I had promised you at the beginning, that is going to be a very entertaining, engaging, and enriching experience. And DTM Mayuri, you have fulfilled all our expectations. Thank you so much. We are indeed proud to have you here with us today, because you have given us such a sweeping view of what Toastmaster can give to us, both personally and professionally. And you've summed it up so beautifully in a nutshell. So thank you so much for being here with us and sharing your learnings and your takeaways. The Toastmaster sessions were also very, very enlightening. We had some very, very new speakers, and I'm sure if you join Toastmasters, you will hone your skills and become great, great speakers. So on that note, I would just like to share with you a few special moments of our club. You know, we are not very old. Our journey has not been a very, very long one. And yet our members have distinguished themselves in getting very, very significant awards this particular year, 2023. And the first of them, of course, is our leader, who by example has showed us what true leadership is all about. I'm speaking of none other than our president, Toastmaster Kahira Miyajiwala, who has been awarded Toastmaster of the year 2023. So I would like all of you to join hands to hail her victory. We've also had a winner from one of our members in the humorous speech contest at Jubilance 2023. One of our members has won the Golden Feather Award, and a club has been vested with the Golden Eagle Award. Slightly lower down the scale, one of our members was awarded International Speech Contest winner at the area level, while another was placed second at the Table Topics Contest at the area level too. So friends, those of you who are desiring to join Toastmasters, this is just an eye-opener to you at the potential that is waiting there for you. You know, you can sort of literally unravel and unfold your potential to become great, great speakers. And I would just like to share with you that at 72, I have spoken at the Pecha Kucha platform. And I owe my gratitude to Toastmasters, and especially to my mentor, Toastmaster Money, who showed me the way to make structured speeches within a very, very small span of time. So on that note, I would like to, call it a day. All good things have to come to an end, and this meeting too. So I adjourn the meeting and hope to see all of you at our next meeting on Wednesday around the same time. And I'm sure you will have an equally, if not more, entertaining and exciting session with us. So thank you for joining us.
Before everybody leaves, please give me a broad smile on your faces so that we can